Tobias.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're spirited. Occupy Newark is spirited by Occupy Wall Street. I started out with Occupy Wall Street, just hanging out in Liberty Square Park. When I first heard about it, I was just like, okay, why are these people marching? We've been through these marches, forever. We don't need another march. And I was getting these negative comments from national media downplaying what was going on until I eventually, within the second week, I decided to, because I live in Newark, I said, let me just catch the PATH train over there and see what was going on. And it was a mind-blowing experience for me. And my spirit immediately just pulled into it. I remember the day when I went over there, it was early afternoon, and I ended up getting home. I think it was like maybe 3 a.m. in the morning, because it was mind-boggling. Mind-blowing rather. It was a phenomenon for me, because they had actually, within a 2-week period, had already set up the social systems needed for a human society to actually function. It had the People's Kitchen, the Comfort Station, the Media Station, the People's Library, and all these groups of people from different walks of life coming, sharing, giving. I felt free. It was freedom for me. And then on November the 17th, I heard about Occupy Newark being launched on November the 18th. And I says, wow, I get to save some money. It's like I could just get on my mountain bike, just go several blocks, and be there. So I'm going to share with you my experience, things that I've been involved in, what I've been gaining from this whole experience as well. And the common phrase now is, you can't stop a movement whose time has come. The word occupy was the most common term used in 2011, and the phrase Occupy movement has become an idea that represents participatory democracy and freedom. So it is this idea that has been growing in the minds of millions throughout the world. For the first time, for so many people, they feel they have an opportunity to have their voice heard and make a significant positive improvement within our society. This movement has quickly become a subculture with its own language, such as the use of hand signals and social network. Unfortunately, there are so many deep-rooted systemic issues that we do not fully understand, so we are stuck on the surface. Many of us just aren't well prepared for the magnitude of social issues resultant by our current monetary system. Many people do not understand that this planet, in fact, is a living organism, and we are killing her. The body operates in the same manner as nature, one system relying on the other to properly function. But we have allowed our current monetary and educational systems to remove us from this reality, creating an unbalanced environment that is damaging to us all. What I've come to learn about the Occupy movement is that there are 4 groups of people. One group is solely interested in occupying public space and making that public space a community within a community, regardless of how organized or chaotic that community may appear to others. This is all they want to do, and that is occupy public space. Occupying public space is critical because it is a place where we can establish the commons and create a true democracy and set up all the social systems needed to support a fully human society. However, I'd say we are operating on limited information. The people who are well informed about how to properly set up encampments aren't helping us. They are leaving us to our own creativity and ignorance, which could be non-productive. For the most part, we act and react on limited information. Now just imagine if technicians and social engineers would have came to our encampment at Military Park located in Newark, New Jersey, and taught us and participated with setting up a fully sustainable encampment with today's knowledge. This would have created a totally different environment. Then people who are well informed in social psychology and social management would have taught us how environment shapes behavior and how to manage our resources. This too would have created a different environment. If all of this were to happen on a national or a global scale, attitudes in this movement would change drastically. We would probably be able to evolve more quickly into a resource-based society where money is no longer needed for survival. Dr. Wayne Dyer stated that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And I agree with him. Our society needs to undergo a serious rehabilitation. I see encampments as a way for people to remove the labels that have been placed on them by society and a means to become rehabilitated from our addiction with money and the negative effects of the monetary system. Andrew Lowe, professor and director for MIT Laboratory for Financial Engineering, stated in the award-winning documentary Inside Job, directed by Charles Ferguson, that neuroscientists have done experiments where they've taken individuals and put them into an MRI machine. And they have them play a game where the prize is money. And they notice that when these subjects earn money, the part of the brain that gets stimulated is the same part that cocaine stimulates. We are living in a sick society. So encampments could actually be this rehabilitation process. It could be the start of a new society, a community within a community, a subculture that gradually becomes the dominant culture. But the people who are well informed are not working with us because they are working for the 1%, or should I say enslaved by the 1%. Then there's the second group. People who respect the symbolism of occupying public space, but are more concerned with operating as a working group that bring awareness about our society and work collectively with others to create tangible solutions. This allows people to meet and organize any and everywhere. For instance, I helped organize a science and sustainability working group. Taking the approach of social entrepreneurship, the Science and Sustainability Working Group, an autonomous international working group interested in assisting occupations throughout the country, will explore the utilization of free, abundant, renewable energy through teachings and hands-on training. We will also promote and assist with the creation of community and hydroponic gardens to ensure that the fruits and vegetables grown are fresh and organic. We are currently building solar panels from soda cans and other raw materials, exploring hydroponic gardening and painting sidewalks white as a means to help reduce greenhouse gases and bring the problem of urban island heat effect to the attention of neighbors. Also within this working group, we've added a medical and education component. The education component is actually a school system that myself and others has been developing with whoever else is, wants to get involved. This is a global public school system that's non-affiliated with any political or religious organization, a linkage public school system, APS. Our goal is to update our education system with today's knowledge. Albert Einstein stated that technology has far exceeded our humanity. For the most part, our education system is stuck in the Industrial Revolution. We have people living in space, but we have billions of people living in poverty, millions dying each year unnecessarily from starvation. APS is an open-door global public learning system where creativity, critical and divergent thinking is allowed to flourish. This is a democratic approach toward education and world unification, where people work together toward the common good of all human beings with the carrying capacity of the planet. So we encourage educators, especially, to break away from the production line mentality in which students are shipped through the industrial school setting and stamped with a manufacturer date and grade when and or if they make it through this process. We believe in creating a learning environment based on one's learning abilities, not coercing students into a linear, systematic way of thinking, and allowing them to maintain their cultural identity. The reason why we have chosen to create a new school system altogether is because we found that there are too many deep-rooted flaws in the current school systems. Therefore, it seemed logical to start from the ground up, to create a whole new foundation rather than mend it over time. As Buckminster Fuller stated, in order to change an existing paradigm, You do not struggle and try to change the problematic model. You create a new model and make the old one obsolete. That, in essence, is the highest service to which we are all being called. This is why I occupy. The truth of the matter is, as long as we continue to support this system, it will continue to exist. We can complain about gas prices, but as long as we are filling up our tanks, nothing of any significance will change. The 1955 Montgomery bus boycott should have taught us that much. Then there's a third group, the agitators, who just want to stir things up, piss the 1% off, and show how ugly this system really is through civil disobedience. The people in this group are willing to give up their lives and freedom for this movement. And lastly, there's a fourth group, the anonymous, or should I say, the online activists. Expect us. The internet has caused our world to become that much smaller. It has allowed us to be nowhere and everywhere. We have to respect all four groups mentioned, but we also have to determine what is being effective and what isn't, and how we can make them all more effective, because each group complements the other. Each group is needed. It was James Baldwin that said, the paradox of education is precisely this, that as one begins to become conscious, one begins to examine the society in which he is being educated. A blanket of awareness is coming over this planet, and more people are awakening to possibilities never imagined by the average person. And I'm so thrilled to be witnessing this moment in history. In this country, we've gone from the Atlantic slave trade to integration to segregation, and now we're heading towards world unification. This is the moment we can create the golden age for all life on this planet. This is our opportunity to make the history books. Let's continue to lead the way. Peace and solidarity.